The camera was only running because the baby and the dog looked so sweet splashing together in the little pool. Nobody expected it to catch the moment a 135-pound Cane Corso saved that baby's life. Everyone had said the Cane Corso was too dangerous to keep around a baby, a huge black dog with a blocky head and a reputation that made people cross the street. Get rid of the dangerous dog before he hurts that child, they said. 33 different people told this couple to get rid of Dante before the baby came, but Nicole had watched the way Dante had started sleeping against the door of the empty nursery weeks before there was ever a baby inside it, and she made her decision. Dante stays. I see you're still here but haven't subscribed yet. After what Dante is about to do for this little girl, you'll want to be part of it. Tap subscribe. It means more than you know. What none of them understood is that Dante had already decided the baby was his. From the day they brought little Poppy home, that 135-pound Cane Corso appointed himself her shadow, and it never changed for a single day. Where Poppy was, Dante was, a huge black sentry lying beside the bouncer, pressed against the crib, stationed under the high chair. When Poppy cried, Dante was on his feet before Nicole was, and Dante watched that baby with an intensity that would have unsettled anyone who did not understand it, tracking every sound she made, checking on her while she slept, resting his big blocky head gently near her just to know she was there. Poppy adored him. Her whole face would light up the second she saw that enormous dog, and she would reach for him with both tiny hands, and 135 pounds of Cane Corso would lower his head and go completely still and let her grab his ears and his jowls, the picture of patience. There was a quiet routine between them. Dante followed Poppy room to room at a respectful distance, close enough to reach her in a heartbeat. When she was learning to walk, he paced beside her like a slow-moving guardrail. He let her use him as a pillow in a jungle gym and never once flinched. To Poppy, the biggest, blackest, most feared dog in the neighborhood was simply the safest thing in her whole world. It was the sweetest thing Nicole had ever seen. It was also the thing that made visitors nervous, because all they saw was a huge black Cane Corso looming over a baby. They did not see the softness in his eyes, or the way his whole body relaxed around her. They saw a breed and a reputation, and they were sure they were watching a disaster in the making. Nicole got tired of explaining that Dante would sooner die than let anything happen to that girl. Out in the world, the fear followed them everywhere. On walks, people crossed to the far sidewalk when they saw the big black dog. A man once stopped Nicole to inform her that Cane Corsos were bred to be aggressive and had no business near a baby. Nicole had learned to just smile and keep walking because she knew that the single safest place in all of Tampa was wherever that huge black dog had planted itself beside her daughter. But there was one thing about Dante that Nicole never understood until the day it mattered. Dante was uneasy about the pool. From the time Poppy could crawl, if she got near the patio door to the water, Dante would move his big body between her and the door and herd her back, gently but absolutely, every time. Nicole thought it was sweet, a little overprotective. She did not realize her dog had identified the single greatest danger in that entire house and had appointed himself its sole guard. No one had trained him to do it. Some instinct older than any of them had looked at that blue water and that fearless girl and understood how the two did not mix. Dante would only stand between Poppy and the pool every day and wait for the day he hoped would never come. Because a backyard pool and a curious toddler is one of the most dangerous combinations there is. Drowning is fast and silent, the leading cause of death for children Poppy's age, and Dante seemed to know it in his bones long before anyone said it out loud. On a blazing hot afternoon in July, Nicole set up the little inflatable kiddie pool on the patio, and Poppy, now 18 months old, splashed in 3 inches of water with the dog right beside her, letting her pour cups of water over his massive head. It was, for a while, the most perfect ordinary summer afternoon there is. Then the doorbell rang. Nicole glanced at the baby, safe and giggling in 2 inches of water with the dog right beside her, and stepped inside for just a moment to sign for a package. Just a moment. But in that moment, Poppy pushed herself up, climbed out of the little pool, and toddled across the wet patio toward the big blue water that had fascinated her all summer, the pool gate standing open, and she walked right off the edge, into the deep end. The same dog the whole street had called a monster, the same dog 33 people had begged them to get rid of, the same 135-pound Cane Corso every one of them had sworn would one day hurt that baby, was already moving before she hit the water. Dante came up off that patio like an explosion and launched himself into the deep end after her, a 135-pound black torpedo hitting the pool a heartbeat after she went under. And he dove, got beneath her, and drove her up toward the surface, pushing her small body up onto his broad back and shoving her toward the shallow steps with everything he had. There was no hesitation, no wasted motion. In the time it takes to read this sentence, a dog had crossed a patio, cleared the pool edge, dived beneath a sinking child, and driven her back to the surface, doing in seconds what no human where Nicole had been could have done in time. When Nicole came running back out, drawn by the enormous splash, the sight that met her stopped her heart. Her daughter held up out of the water on the back of a swimming Cane Corso, powering toward the steps with the baby balanced against his neck. Nicole hit the water and snatched Poppy up, and the baby coughed and sputtered and then screamed, that furious, beautiful, wide-open scream of a child who is frightened but alive. For a moment, Nicole could not do anything but hold her, pressing her wet, screaming daughter against her chest and sobbing into her hair, her whole body shaking so hard she could barely stand. Dante hauled himself out of the pool beside them, soaked and heaving, and pressed his huge wet head against the baby, whining low in his throat, checking her the way he did every single day, needing to know she was all right. Nicole got them both out of the water and sank down onto the warm patio stones with Poppy in her lap, and one hand buried in the dog's dripping fur. And for a long time, the three of them just sat there, breathing. She was okay. She had been under for only seconds because a dog had been moving before she even fell. The doctors will tell you that drowning takes a small child in under a minute, that it is soundless, that by the time most parents notice, it is already too late. Nicole knew, standing waist-deep in that pool, clutching her screaming daughter with Dante pressed against them both, that if she had listened to those 33 people, if Dante had been gone like everyone said he should be, there would have been no one in that backyard fast enough to reach her baby in time. Instead, there had been Dante. Drew came home to find his wife still pale and shaking hours later, and when she told him what had happened and then showed him the video, he sat down heavily and could not speak. That night, neither of them slept much. They kept getting up to check on Poppy, who was fine, worn out and unaware of how close the day had come to ending another way. And every time they looked in on her, Dante was already there, stretched out on the floor beside her little bed where he always slept, one ear up on watch, as if daring the world to try again. And all of it, the fall, the dive, the rescue, had been caught on the camera Nicole had left running on the patio table. Word spread the way news like that always does once the video got out. Thousands watching a Cane Corso launch into a pool to save a baby he was never supposed to be trusted with. The comments filled with people who had grown up being told to fear dogs exactly like Dante, seeing maybe for the first time what one of them was truly capable of. People shared their own stories of the gentle giants in their own homes, of misjudged breeds that turned out to be the best friends their children ever had. Somewhere in the middle of all of it, a black Cane Corso was quietly rewriting what thousands of strangers believed about his kind. The neighbor who had warned Drew came to apologize. Nicole's mother, who had said those dogs turn, came and got on the floor and wrapped her arms around 135 pounds of Cane Corso and wept into his neck, thanking him for her granddaughter's life. The video of a so-called monster diving in to save the baby he loved reached people who had spent their whole lives afraid of dogs like him. Today, Dante is 4, and Poppy is a toddler who cannot say his name right and calls him Da, following that giant black dog around the yard like he hung the moon. There is a locked gate and an alarm on the pool now, but it hardly matters because 135 pounds of Cane Corso still puts himself between that little girl and the water every single time, the way he has since the day she came home. The two of them are still exactly what they have always been. On hot afternoons, Dante still lies down in the shade of the patio and lets Poppy pour cups of water over his massive head, patient as ever, though now Nicole never once takes her eyes off the pair of them. Poppy has learned to say the whole word at last, and every morning she toddles to the dog, wraps her arms as far around his neck as they will go, and buries her face in his fur. And that once feared animal simply closes his eyes and lets her. And the 33 people who swore they should get rid of him have all gone very quiet, because here is the simple truth every one of them missed. A dog is not dangerous because of his breed, or the color of his coat, or the size of a head that makes strangers step back. What makes a dog is who he decides to protect, and exactly what he is willing to do to keep them safe. Dante decided on the very first day that a tiny girl was his, and when the water she loved nearly took her, the breed the whole world calls a monster went in after her without a heartbeat of hesitation. If you are thinking about bringing a big, powerful dog into a home with a child, please do not listen to the fear. Learn the breed, train with patience, supervise with love, and understand that the right dog raised the right way is not a danger to your child. Sometimes he is the guardian angel you never knew you needed, wearing a face the whole world taught you to fear. So let me ask you honestly, would you have trusted a 135-pound Cane Corso alone with your baby? Or would you have listened to those 33 people and let him go? Tell me in the comments.